Hey guys, it's Mr. Burns here. I'm going to do a little flip video today to talk about our lesson on the political spectrum. So the political spectrum warm-up was completed. It looked like this when you started it. The directions at the top were pretty clear. You put these five icons on the line from left to right the way you think they went. You put these three values from left to right, and then you answer the question at the bottom. So hopefully you finished that, and this is what you should have gotten. Okay, liberal all the way on the left, Democrat to the left center, moderate in the middle, Republican to the right center, and conservative to the far right. With the moral philosophies, the liberal were based more on liberty and equality and social action. The conservative more based on traditional values and belief of the individual to create and pursue their own goals. And the moderate are kind of in the middle, depending on the issue. They might be a little to the left, a little bit to the right, but generally they're in the center. And majority of Americans fall somewhere in the political middle between Democrat and Republican, although it seems that our political climate is becoming much more polarized between the far right and far left. So hopefully at this point you can check your answers on this warm-up. You can fix them if you need to. And you can pause this video and go back to Google Classroom and turn this in. Remember, this is not for a grade, this is just a warm-up, but this will help you as a tool to study for your quiz that's coming up in the near future. All right, so next you should have out handout number 5, and we're going to do a little presentation on the political spectrum. So here, let me put it in presentation mode here, and I know part of this you may or may not see, so I'm going to move my screen up here. All right. So here we go. Actually, let me move it back down here for now. All right, so here what you see is you see the top of the screen. And what you'll see is in the middle of the spectrum here is where a government would have more of a democracy or a democratic government like we have. On the extreme left or extreme right, you would have one person or one group in charge. So that would be a dictatorship. It could be an oligarchy where a small group's in charge, a monarchy, something of that nature. All right, and then over here you see, there I am, I'm back, the spectrum that we just kind of talked about in the warm-up. On the left side, you know, the extreme left wing, the extreme right wing. These are people that are polarized in their views. They're very loyal to their side of the political spectrum. You'll see a lot of third-party candidates when they're running for election are going to be kind of over here or over here on the far right or far left. And their goal is to get the more moderate or middle-of-the-road parties, including our two major parties, to have an idea or believe in what they stand for and their issue or their idea. A lot of independents tend to fall in the middle of the spectrum and be center or moderate. And they might vote for Democrats or Republicans depending on the issue. All right, let's look at the left side of the political spectrum. The left side of the political spectrum is often blue. It's always blue. It has to do with we'll talk about the Democratic side. It's always blue, and it's on the left. So the extreme left views are more radical. They really want to flip things the way they are and make them kind of the opposite and change things for large groups of people or many different types of people. The left center, where most Democrats fall, as opposed to liberals or socialists or communists way out here, they're looking for social change. They just want to improve things for certain groups of people. And that's their goal through social change. And you might do that through demonstrations. You might do that through petitions. You might do that through voting and working the political process. All right, next on the right side of the political spectrum, which is often in red, and the right center is the status quo. That's kind of your more Republicans or moderate Republicans, maybe people who are to the right a little bit, and they like their traditions. They like kind of the way things are, and things are working, so let's keep them the way they are. They might believe in a little bit of change, but only if it's going to help the majority of people, not for small groups of people. The far right, your libertarians, your fascists. These are people who are very extreme to the right. They want things back to the way they used to be. That's what reactionary means. They want to react and take things back to the way they were. And they're pretty extreme, just like the extreme left. All right, one more row here at the bottom. So in terms of the beliefs of the type of government or beliefs of political beliefs, you're going to see that to the left center or a little bit to the left is liberals, further to the left is socialists or progressives, and to the far left are communists. And again, communism is where everything's equal and there's only one person in charge. But again, this is going to be more of a dictatorship or one party in control, no political dissension, no political opposition. On the far right, you're going to have conservatives. Then you're going to have libertarians who believe in the freedom of the individual and small government. And then fascists, again, these are very extreme to the right, bring things back to the way they were. Again, that's going to be more of a dictatorship instead of a democracy. Whereas from socialism to libertarian, these are going to be more of a democratic system of government. And remember, when you associate things with the left side of the spectrum, you associate them with Democrats, and you associate things with the right side of the political spectrum with Republicans. Third parties, which we'll talk about next couple classes, third parties can fall in the middle, they can fall to the right, they can fall to the left. And their goal is really just to get ideas out there for the Republicans and Democrats in our two-party political system, where we have two parties that are really in control. So hopefully you wrote that all on the front of number 5. Remember, you can pause this at any time as you need to. I would like to next talk about what you're going to do on the back of number 5. So the first thing you're going to do, let's escape out of this presentation, and let's go to Google Classroom and click on this link, which is I Side With link. And you're going to take this political spectrum quiz. And when you take the quiz, you're going to click on this link, and it'll take you to the quiz. And each question, you'll notice, is going to ask you, it'll start with social issues. What is your stance on abortion? Should the government continue to fund Planned Parenthood? If you don't understand, you can hit the Learn More button. You can also choose one of the stances. Pro-life, for pro-life means you don't believe in abortion. You think all pregnancy should come to term. Pro-choice, it's a woman's choice whether to abort or keep the baby. Other stances, if you click on that, there's a lot more stances. You're kind of in the middle. I'm pro-life, but I'm pro-choice, but etc. You can add your own stance if you need to. So if you were to vote on pro-choice, what you could do is, how important is this issue to you? It's somewhat important, it's more important, it's less important. That's going to affect your results. So don't just leave them all at somewhat. Okay. Now here it's going to ask, when you get done with the question, it's going to ask you, should I answer more questions? Yes, answer more. Okay? You only have to hit that button once. You don't have to keep hitting this until there's no more. But hit it once, maybe there's a few more questions you might want to answer. Okay? Especially if it's an important issue to you. Then they're going to have things on national security and environmental and economics and domestic policy, things within the United States, healthcare, education, and so on, foreign policy, all the way down, electoral, immigration. These are important issues to our country right now. You might want to click this button. You might want to click one of these. You might not. You might want to leave it blank. You might want to click some of these. And at the end, you hit Show My Results. And when your results are done, a screen will pop up and it'll match you with the candidates, which candidates you match with the best. And what you will do at that point is you will fill in the back of handout number 5. And when you fill in the back of handout number 5, you're going to look at the results page. There's a couple different tabs up at the top. You can scroll down, find the different information, and then fill that in. This quiz should take you 15-20 minutes at least. And then filling out the back of number 5 should take another 10 minutes or so. So you have plenty of time to do this. However, once you exit the quiz, you can't re-enter it. So make sure you try to finish this before you leave today. Get the results filled in on the back of handout number 5. Okay? If you have any questions, you can always ask me, and I'll help you figure that out as needed. Okay? Thank you very much. If you have any questions, again, let me know.